Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to another series of The Entrepreneur's Dilemma. If this is your very first time, let me quickly introduce myself and tell you what this series is all about. My name is Tobe Izife, and I'm a business owner. I started my journey in entrepreneurship about 2 years ago. And I remember when I started, I had massive challenges in my business, especially in the first year. I went through a lot that troubled me financially and even mentally because I was not aware of the challenges associated with starting a business. I thought it was just me that it was happening to. But as time went by, I started to connect with different entrepreneurs and I noticed that they ran into these same challenges too. So learning from them, learning from their mistakes and learning how to overcome these challenges, I started to have a lot of confidence. I started to have a lot of focus, and my business dramatically changed in the second year. So the purpose of this series, that brings me to the purpose of this series, is to talk with different entrepreneurs around the world and hear from their challenges, hear their stories, and see how that can educate new entrepreneurs coming into the business. So today I am super excited with the guest I have. She's an entrepreneur who runs a drinks and cocktail business, and you'll be hearing her story today. So Lamide, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you?
Beautiful. It's good to have you on the show today,
Thank you
and
for
thank you
having
for
me.
taking the time to come in. So very quickly, can you just talk a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do?
Right. So my name is Aramide Olawole. I studied accountancy in college, and while I was in college, I was funding my college basically with working in a hotel. I was a waitress for about almost 4 years. So I got a little bit of, no, I wouldn't say a little bit, I got a good depth of hospitality.
Mm,
And while I finished college, I started my first job, and I kind of thought of, okay, what can I do aside my 9 to 5? So lucky for me, a friend of mine was having a baby shower, and I was told to what I was in charge of was to do drinks, and
okay.
it wasn't even to buy the drink. It wasn't to make the drinks. It was just to serve it. So because of my hospitality side, so I was like, so I did that, and then my another one of my friends' bridal shower was coming up, and because I did that, they asked me to do drinks, and then I was like, oh, okay, I don't want to do food because there's too much into it, and plus I have too many friends that are doing food already. So what can I do that would be different and to shine some light into our community and stuff? So I thought of, okay, why not do drinks? Then I started researching. I went on Instagram and I saw, and I happened to actually find a lot of cocktail mixologists and stuff like that in Nigeria. There was
Mm,
at the time there was none in Ireland that I am aware of anyway. So I was like, okay, why not shine some light into our African community,
community,
even
yeah.
all like our Irish community basically. So I was like, okay, that goes in saying the reason for the name of my business. My business name is Sparkles Cocktail. I
Mm,
came about that name because I was like, okay, I want to shine some light into the community. So I was like, I don't want to
mm.
call it light cocktail. So I was like, okay, what else? What else is bright? What else is, so I was like sparkles. So I came up with the name Sparkles Cocktail. So
Mm.
going back to the story, so I catered for my friend's bridal shower, and from there, like I kicked it off. I got my first client, and at the start it was like oh, let me do you a favor, you buy the ingredients and I'll make it,
Mm.
just to get my customer base and stuff. So gradually we started charging, we started getting more equipment. I funded the whole business with money that I was getting from my 9 to 5 job.
Mm.
And it was more or less like, okay, get paid, buy more equipment, get paid, because I wasn't making any profit at
Mm.
the time.
Mm.
Sometimes I don't even break even at all. I use my own money to cover the cost. Obviously, that's the cons of when you just start a business. You have to put
Exactly.
all your energy, everything have to go into it. So I was really happy with what I was doing anyway because of the hospitality side that I have.
Mm.
So I was used to the whole, like, taking care of people, being in charge, and
Mm.
taking control of things, even at very rough times. So I started doing vendors. Sorry, not vendors, sorry. I started doing like events, weddings, birthdays, like big, massive birthdays.
Mm.
Yeah, so from there we grew and all of that. And then I think it was about last year, December 2018. Actually, I started my business in August 2015. So
Wow, that's a long
we
time.
are, Yeah, I know. But the thing is, I took a lot of break in between. So yeah, that's that on my end. But that was because I was moving around. I got married. I had a child as well. So
Wow,
all of that, there was
congratulations.
a lot of break in between. Yeah.
Cool. You've said a lot there, Aramide, and I want to just go back to a few things that you mentioned. So, you started working in the hospitality industry. Were you actually looking into starting a business when you were working in the hospitality industry, or this just fell on your lap and you were like, okay, let's make a business out of this?
Hmm. To be honest, I've always been business orientated. Like I always like business. To be honest, I never want to work for anybody. I'm so sorry if my manager is watching this. I never want to work for anybody. My long-term goal is actually to train people, not
Mm,
exactly as to be like a mixologist or anything. It's just to train people, to help people out basically, and just rather is to train them on how to make cocktails, or just to give them a learning development or something like that, or motivation or stuff.
mm,
So yeah, I never thought I was going to go into drinks, but I knew I
mm.
was going to do something that links with hospitality. To be honest, I was going to be an event planner. So
Yeah, it's not too
but
far off, anyways.
yeah, it's not. It's not. We never
That's
know.
good.
We never know.
That's good. Can we
Yeah.
just talk about some of the major challenges that you had in your business? Now, you said that while you were building your business, you had to put in money. You were not even breaking even. You had to
Mm.
put in your own money many times. Were you always working by yourself, or did you have people that were working with you?
So the thing is, I was working with, obviously because I didn't have enough money to cover, even to take outsider to work for me. So lucky for me, I have three sisters. So I just
Mm,
go between them and just get them to help me out. So I just give them like change of like maybe 20 euros sometimes, depending on the event, 50
mm,
euros, depending. So they were really helping me out at the start. But then having, because the business has grown, thank God. So I started to take people on the outside, even though I was still giving them small amounts, but because my sisters, they finally got a job. I couldn't leave them anymore. They're
So-
always busy. So I managed to find some teenagers, not exactly teenagers, like some young people that are looking for that extra cash. So
Mm,
they work for me, and then I pay them cash in hand, basically.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay. And are there any other challenges, major ones that you had when you started off in this business?
Yeah, definitely. Because, like I said, I didn't know there was anybody doing this business at the start. So, like, for me, it was a new thing for everybody. You know,
Mm.
like, okay, why would she want to make me drink when I can just buy it in the bottle ready to
Yes,
go?
yes, I can
So,
imagine. Yeah.
I had to do a lot of convincing. Hence why I had to do like a lot of freebies in order to just get that audience, basically.
Mm.
So, and I was changing my everything that I do. To be honest with you, I learned how to make cocktails all by myself. I taught myself how to make cocktails. I didn't go to any cocktail class. Even some people, when they taste my drink, they're like, "Oh, okay, how did you know to mix this to mix this?" I was like, it's like when you have passion for something, you always have to, you
Mm.
research, like it's like saying, oh, water will blend with this, water will not blend with this,
Mm.
a certain type of alcohol that you can mix with
Mm.
certain type of fruit. So yeah, I kind of just like try, and it was a lot of convincing to try and get people to understand, okay, this is a new thing. Do they want
Mm.
it? Do they want to pay that extra money? Because even though they're gonna have cocktail at the event, they still will have all their soft drinks and stuff like that, their water.
Mm.
So it's like, first of all, you need to make sure they want it. Second of all, would they have the money to cover it?
Mm.
Because it's not cheap at the end of the day. So yeah, it took a lot of convincing to people. Yeah, definitely. That was one
I
of
have
the
seen,
big.
I have seen, I have actually tried your cocktail at an event, and I like the presentation. I really
Oh,
love
thank
the
you, thank you.
presentation. It looks very well done. Even the
Yeah, thank
cups
you.
that you use for the cocktails, like where does that come in? Like, where did you bring in that presentation aspect to it? Like, because there's a lot of work in that as well.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I love putting things together, whether it's work stuff or just like even with my relationship with people. I love
Mm.
bringing people together. It's just what I love doing. So
Mm.
the whole aspect of actually decorating and then putting and then drinking the cock and then putting the cocktail out there on a display
Mm.
is actually something that I saw on other people's Instagram. And I see that it's something that to introduce as well, not just that you're coming and serving people the drinks, they're also looking at a nice display. And like, let's say you're having a birthday party and you have your pictures on the table, you have flowers, you know, it's something that, oh, if you see it somewhere else, you'll be like, oh, I want that for my birthday. So it's kind of like to get more customers in that way. So you're not only displaying for the celebrant or whoever it is that is doing something, you're also displaying for your potential customers. So yeah, it was something that I was like, okay, they're gonna taste the drink, that's normal, I'm very sure of the taste of my drink, but then what else can I add to the table? So then that's why I started doing that. Having said that, I actually want to start doing that because I just find like it's a lot. It's not just that it's a lot of work. I just don't think cocktail is based on that fancy decorating table. So I want to go more into like having the proper bar setting, and then I feel like that will give you a different atmosphere as well. But obviously, if my customer asks that, oh, my client, if they say, oh, I want that table setting, I have to do what they want. But as for me, I want to going forward, I want to just like have the bar and just none of the more table decorations anymore.
I like that. I like that. I like that. My next question for you is about your lifestyle. So now that you're a businesswoman, before you were a businesswoman and now, how much has your lifestyle changed?
Oh my
Are
God.
there new things new habits that you've gained now? Are there habits that you've lost, or you just say, I can't do that anymore. I can't go out anymore. I can't party like I used to party anymore. What has
See,
changed now before and now?
um,
Or has
my
anything changed at all?
a lot of change. I won't lie. I'm less. The thing, what I do is I like to like. I'll say I'll do something and then I won't get to it. But my business has taught me to actually just be more consistent. Because if I'm not, then my competitor will obviously. So that keeps me going in the sense that, okay, if you don't do it, somebody else could come into the market and do it better than you. Then where are all your clients? So I taught myself to be more consistent, even though I'm still working at that. I don't think I'm where I want it to be. But
And how do you teach yourself to be? How do you do that? How do you force yourself to be consistent?
so how I do that is when I go on my Instagram. Yeah, this might be not as a much of a method, but the
Yeah.
way I do it is I go on my Instagram, and once I see something new, then I'll be like, okay, Aramide, what are you doing? What is your next move? Make this move. And I also like that my business push me as well, because then I just go for it. Whatever it is I want to do, I just go for it. And
And do you think about the risks involved before? Are you
oh,
like, that means you're
definitely.
a very big risk taker.
Oh yes, I am. Until that thing really beat me, I won't go. I won't let it go until I really get to that place. But yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah. So I take a lot of risk, especially with my business. I do. I push it. I push it. I push it. And hence why I have those products that I have. I have a drink. It's made with hibiscus. I make that from scratch. There's a
Yes,
lot of
I want
people
to talk
doing it out
about
there
that
in
actually.
Africa. So I introduced that into Ireland, and I have them bottled. Everything is certified. And the other thing I do is I do Chapman as well. That's a West African drink. And the other thing I'm actually introducing at the moment, that I launched I think a week and a half ago, is like fresh juices. So fresh juice, you get to order them and I bring them to you. You have them for the week and then just keep replenishing that way. So
That's
that is
good.
something that I brought into the business just now. So that is also a kind of a risk, but it's still alongside
I
my
like
what
that.
I do.
I like that. I like that. And is there any risk that you've taken that you remember that really bit you back, like that really hurt your business?
Um, mm, is that risk?
Or have all the risks always paid their reward?
To be honest with you, with the line of business that I'm in, there's not really that much of a risk. The risk I would say I've taken, which I might not count as a risk, is that I didn't go ahead and increase my price. My pricing was not defining the kind of quality that my customer was getting. So
Mm,
I was doing more things on the cheaper side just to be more affordable for people.
mm,
But then some people were taking advantage of that because it was cheap. They were thinking maybe the quality is not as good.
mm,
And hence why big brands nowadays, we're paying thousands of money for things that we can actually get so let's say, for example, I will buy earrings now for like maybe 250 euros, and I can find another earring that looks exactly the same for €5. So in that way, because I will feel like the one that is expensive is a better quality.
Yeah.
And the one that is cheaper. But then what we don't understand is it's all the same kind of thing, honestly. Maybe there's a slightly difference. So that's why I just, okay, in order for my brand to look as good and sound as good, I needed to do that. So the risk I took in that is that I didn't increase it soon enough. So then that kind of lose me some customers in the sense that they're not thinking my brand is as of a good quality, if that makes sense.
I
But
understand that. I
I've
understand
not
that.
exactly faced any challenges. Sorry, I've not exactly faced any risk in that sense. I've not exactly taken any.
Okay. Okay, so you said that you do not want to work for anyone. So if your manager is listening, okay. You say you do not want to work for anyone. Have you always felt this way? Have you always felt this way?
I felt this way my second year in college, because I just have this mind that, to be honest, if I could go back, somebody asked me this question on my 30th birthday, that what would I change in my 20s? Definitely, I wouldn't have gone to college, but I would have done 1 or 2 courses to help where I am right now. But I wouldn't have wasted all that 6 years in college and just doing something that at the end of the day, I didn't even end up using. So yeah. Definitely, I would. I didn't think that I was. I always knew I wanted to work for myself, but I didn't know how far I would get with it.
Okay. My next question for you is about motivation. Now, you've talked about consistency and you talked about how important consistency is in your business. But when it comes to motivation, now you said you're a mom and you're married. So what keeps you going? You know, because I know as a mom, you also have your challenges as a mom and managing and taking care of your kid. What keeps you going in your business?
To be honest, like I said, it all go back to passion again. Like most of us are working in order to gain money, but sometimes when you put passion into it, it keeps you going and it keeps that consistency going as well. So what keeps me going is the passion to just keep like getting higher and increasing and always improving. So I love improving. I love finding new ways to do things. So that always keeps me going. Okay, let me do a different drink today. Let me put it in this glass today. So and every time I do an event is different concept that I put into it. And that keeps me going because obviously if I'm doing it differently, gradually I want to keep going higher and higher and higher. So what would you call that actually? Improvement, developing myself more and higher keeps me going, basically. And that's why I motivate myself. I'm like, okay, if you want to do this, Aramide, if you want to get to where you said you want to get to, you need to keep going. And that's why consistency is like my second name.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, and my next question to you is about self-development and personal development. Do you, in your journey now in your entrepreneurship journey, have you done any bit of mentorship or have you read books that have helped your business? You know, is there anything that you've learned that you had to pay for, something like that, that has helped you or you knew that would help you grow your business?
Right. Like the first thing that helped me, the mentor that I had was YouTube, to be honest with you. That was the first thing. And Instagram was more like viewing what other people that is making it in the industry that I'm in. So I watched out for them. So those were my first 2 primary mentoring kind of thing. And then lucky for me, I have a few friends that one of them is an accountant. He's also like very into like entrepreneurship. He has different businesses and is co-founder of different businesses. Then I have another lady that's also actually a kind of career mentor person. She's like, she mentor people on how to build your brand and everything. She's also on Instagram as well. Her name is Dolakmo Ola. And then the other guy I was talking about is Afolabi Yisa. So they're very good in sense like they helped me. And I had a lot of other people alongside as well. Joey, I had him as well. So I had a lot of friends that if I just think of an idea, I just go to them and be like, okay, what do you think? And so they help me. I, for one, as a person, I'm a very motivated person. I like to, even before I ask, I already know, I've made up my mind. I just want a second opinion on it. So to be honest with you, and then now at the moment, I am paying for mentorship. She's also on Instagram as well. It's called the After Academy. So I'm actually on that process at the moment in order to build my brand, because at the end of the day, it was all me from the start. It's all my ideas. It's all my input. So I just want a different eye to have a look at the business and to see where we can go from there. So yeah, I'm doing that currently, and it's going to be 3 months coaching. So I can't wait to see.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That's very good. And for me, I when I started my business, I never thought mentorship was important. I thought it was a one-man show, and I just kept going, but I kept hitting roadblocks, and sometimes, and what I've come to realize is that you can only go so far by yourself.
Yes.
Go so far by yourself.
You're right. Definitely.
Help to get to the next level.
Mm.
And that's where mentors come in.
Mm.
Yeah. So another question I would like to ask you is about rejection. And this is a very interesting question I ask many entrepreneurs, because it's something that I struggled with massively, handling rejections. Do you get rejections in your business or disappointments in your business?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like for example, because I'm like, when I initially started, there was not really anyone in the business, but now I've got a few people that are doing what I'm doing. And when a customer comes to you and say, oh, I like a quote from you and stuff like that, and you give them a quote, you give them the price, and then they go ahead to your competitor or competitors and find out like a cheaper price, and then obviously you feel rejected in that sense that, okay, maybe you're not just good enough, because sometimes it's not always about the money. There are people out there that will pay a ton of money just to get a service, so for someone to come to you and give them a price, and then you ended up finding out sometimes that it wasn't even the amount that you were giving them. Maybe yours was even cheaper. In that sense, you'll feel some sort of rejection in your heart that, okay, what is happening? I've never been rejected to my face, thank God, and I hope I never do. Because because of the line of business I work at, because drinks make people happy, and if you hand somebody a cocktail, you're automatically just their friend immediately.
Yeah.
So I've not really exactly got rejection to my face. The way that I probably have is maybe I'll give a cocktail to somebody that, for example, a mojito, it's not a sweet kind of drink. It's more on your bitter kind of sweet side. So if I give that to a sweet tooth kind of person, they'll probably be like, I don't really like this. But then if you give it to someone that, okay, yeah, I like the taste of this, I like the taste of lime and stuff like that, then obviously they'll be pleased with what they've gotten. So I would say that's the kind of rejection I've gotten. I've not exactly got rejection in that, in like yeah.
Okay, like when, for example, say for example, someone comes to you for a quote and ask, okay, how much would you charge me for my birthday? Birthday coming up next week or something like that. And you charge them, say you charge them £1,000, £1,000, €1,000, and they say, okay, that's expensive. I'm gonna go to your competitor, and they then go to your competitor and get it at a cheaper price. Has that happened to you before?
See, with the kind of person I am, my personality is bubbly. My old self, I'm I'm very funny, and I'm very friendly and stuff like that. So I put that into my business. So if a customer call me, it will be very rare. I would say out of 10, it would be like maybe 1 out of 10 that a customer has left and not go ahead with me. And the reason they probably wouldn't have gone ahead is maybe the event got cancelled, or maybe they just thought they can't afford that money anymore. And when I get a customer, when I get a call, that customer is not leaving me without me getting that business, because
and that plays a lot to your role, to the kind of person that you are, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm very persuasive in the sense that obviously not the aggressive type. Obviously, we give you your options. So if you come to me, for example, and be like, okay, I'm having a birthday gathering for 30 people, and how much do you charge? So first question is, do you want alcoholic or non-alcoholic? Okay. Alcohol, I want a mix. Okay, that's fine. How many type of cocktails would you like on the menu? If they told me, for example, 4, okay. So this is a rough idea now. Then I tell them, okay, that would be €180, please. Like, this is just an example, guys. That's not how much I charge. I just not using that now. So let's say I tell the person 180, for example, and then the person is like, oh, but my budget is actually 100 euro. So my job there is, okay, I'll be like, ooh, 100 euro. We can make that work. So instead of having 4 drinks on your menu, why not have 2 drinks on your menu? At least you still have choices. And then we won't do an alcoholic base, because obviously you're still going to have alcohol on the day for your guests. So me bringing the alcohol is going to be more expensive for you. So why not give me the alcohol that you buy, and then I'll mix it for whoever wants alcohol. So I kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I kind of work with my customer. Basically, I work with their budget as well. That's what we also do in Sparkles. We work with your budget. So I'm not going to let you go because you can't afford that extra 80 euro that I've quoted you on top of the budget. I just make it work. So if it's something that I know, okay, let's say, for example, she now said that it's only 50 euros she has. There's nothing I can do with that, unfortunately. And then I will explain to the customer that, okay, there's a lot of costing that goes into just coming to serve you. Like the 50 euro alone, I pay 20 euro out of that for petrol, depending on your location. And I have to buy ingredients. If I have to bring someone to help me, I need to pay them. So once you start telling the customer and explaining your costs, then it gets them to be, okay, more like, oh, okay, I understand where she's coming from. Then most of the time, I'll tell you, 80% of the time that happens, the customer ended up going higher. And then they feel for you, and then they're like, okay, yeah, it's true. Am I going to be? Yeah. So they increase their price, and then that way we both agree.
Where did you learn? Where did you learn those sales strategies from? That is a 6 sales strategy. Did you learn that, or this is just something that you just know?
I just believe like sales strategy is about you personally. If you can actually put yourself in that customer's shoes, that okay, let's say you want to go and buy something and you can't afford it, what do? Obviously you lower the price and you negotiate and try and find. And my negotiating skill is,
I can see that it's top notch.
so I'm happy that I have that quality, because then it helps my business in like, I don't get a no, basically. For me to get a no, it's very rare, and I will never get a touch wood. But definitely, it's for somebody to say no to me is very hard, honestly. Yeah, especially when it comes to like if it's pricing. Yeah, definitely. You have to say something else. Is it that, oh, my drinks are not good enough? Then we can work up and see. But when it comes to pricing, because money is not about everything, because if I lose that customer, it means that I'm losing other, like let's say 30 people is going to be at the event. I've lost 30 other potential clients. That's the way I see it. So if you lose one customer, you've lost a lot, because you don't know who's going to see you on that day and be like, oh, I want to book you for my birthday. So that's the way I always see it.
So there's a lot of sales within the presentation. Like even at the event, there's still sales. I get you now. I get you now.
Because like because you're providing a service. If your service is good, whoever you're providing the service for will recommend you. Whoever comes to you and asks for a drink will recommend you. Whoever like attended the event will recommend you, even not even tasting your drink, but because they see that, okay, she's provided a good service, everything went well, they will recommend you. So you're not only selling yourself at that moment in time, you're selling yourself for the future to come as well. Yeah, definitely.
And it's because I tried your drink at an event. That's how come I got in touch with you.
Exactly. See what I'm saying now? Yeah.
And I thought it was really nice. I thought the presentation was
Thank you.
amazing. The cups that you have drinks in, amazing. And the outfit that you guys wear is also really good. I really like that. It was really, really good. Really good. And I think I've rarely seen that before. I've rarely seen that before. And I think you guys have a very good business model, I think.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, and I want to talk about the drinks that you've just brought in now, because I went on your page and I saw a couple drinks there. I'm not really sure. Can you just shed some light about the different drinks that you've now made in your business?
Okay, so at the moment, I would say we have 5 at the moment. The first one was the initial one that I launched, which was the Zobo. It's called Zobo in West Africa, and some other places it's called Sorrow Drink. And I called it Roselle because that's the other name for the flower itself. So I just wanted to have a different meaning to it, and just to change it around. So that's the first one I launched. And
I
People are
remember
ordering it
Zobo.
really good. Say it
I
again?
remember Zobo from
Oh,
my
yeah, yeah,
primary school days. I love that drink so much.
yeah. So that was the first one, and then the second one was the Chapman,
Mhm.
and so that one is more like for people that want a sweeter taste, kind of like, oh, you have a sweet tooth. That would be more on the sweet side, and it's really good as well. So that's the second one. The one that I just recently launched is the fresh juices.
Mm.
I actually got about to do this because I felt like, okay, people at home, they're quarantined and they're eating whatever it is that they want, and we're all getting fat
Guilty, guilty.
in the places that we don't want. So I was like, okay, what is it that I can bring in that can help people?
Mm.
And like I said to you earlier, on my Instagram page, I have this video on how to lose weight, how to detox, and all of that. So I was like, okay, that idea actually came from that okay, what can I add to this already?
Mm.
What can I add to this to improve it and to help people out there, even not just to lose weight, to just detox and just feel healthy, basically.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, so I sat down and I researched all the things that I know that are going to work for people and most people will be likely to have anyway,
Mm.
that will be likely to have taken before, or that they are taking at the moment. So
Mm.
that's why I launched the juices. So there's three different types. There's one that is called Beat It, and that's just to detox and to give you energy and just to cleanse you, basically.
Mm.
And then there's Lose It, which is to lose weight and just to detox as well. Obviously, by you detoxing, you're
Mm.
losing weight. So that's for that. And then there's one called Energizer, which is to wake you up, basically, and to give you energy and to make you glow. So
Mm.
those are the three types you have
Wow.
at the moment. Yeah.
Great.
So I was like, I wanted to give everybody something, because if you're not detoxing, you're losing weight. If you're not losing weight, you get energy, or you can get it all at the same time, because most of the fruits, they work the same kind of thing. So yeah.
Mm. Okay.
So that
Wow.
was the idea I had
I'm
behind.
definitely gonna be trying some of that.
Yeah,
Because yes, I have been sitting on the couch a lot, and some weight have been coming in at different places that I don't like. So I'm
you
definitely
have to
gonna
blame quarantine for it. Blame quarantine.
try
COVID-19, you're not good to us.
that. Okay. I remember earlier you mentioned about teaching others kind of
Mm.
what you've done. Where does that come in now in your journey? Have you started mentoring people? What's the plan? Are you going to build a distribution, or what are you intending to do now?
To be honest with you, this is not something I've thought of yet. So everything I'm saying right now is all in my head.
Mm.
But I want to build my brand more
Mhm.
before I feel like I'm comfortable enough. But this year, having said that, this year I was going to do a masterclass, but because of the COVID-19, we couldn't go ahead, obviously, because it was going to be an event where people will be there and interacting with each other. So
Mm.
it's something that we've actually postponed. To
Mm.
what date, I don't know yet, because we
Mm.
still don't know when this thing will be over yet.
Okay.
So yeah, I was going to do a masterclass, and that's just for people that have passion for cocktails, or you like to make cocktails, or even if you're in the food industry and you just want to understand the whole mixing and stuff like that,
Mm.
with the best of my knowledge, because I don't
Mm.
have the full knowledge. This is, like I said, I taught myself how to do this.
Mm.
So in the long run, it is something that I would love to be doing, to be mentoring people on how to, not even just to be a mixologist, on how to like own a business. Basically, what my mentor is teaching me right now and how she's going about it would be something that I would love to do in the long run.
Mm.
And also to help people that choose not to go to college and just to find a way in their life, basically.
Mm.
That would be something that I would love to do in the long run. Yeah,
I like
definitely.
that. I like that. And that seems like a main life goal in order to
Oh
help
yeah,
people.
yeah, definitely. What I believe is that if you're helping people, you're also growing as well.
Mm.
So yeah, definitely, that is something that, it's not something that I'm thinking. It's something that I will do.
Mm.
Or
I like
it's
that.
just not
I like
yet. Yeah.
Cool. Well, Aramide, you've been amazing
Thank
today.
you.
I really,
Thank
really
you.
like everything you said. I love your product as well. I love the service that you do. And
Mm,
you've really, really shed some light on a lot of things today.
mm,
My final question for you, okay, this
mm.
is, well, one more question after this, is what advice could you give people that are on the fence with entrepreneurship, that are thinking of starting a business, but they don't know how to do it? What advice could you give them?
First of all, the first thing I always say is believe in your product, believe in your brand. Because if you believe in it, that's how you're going to convince other people to believe in it. Because if you're not sure what you're saying, then people will be like, I don't really want that. But when you're able to believe in what you want and what you actually want to pass on to other people to believe in, because brand is basically just, is yourself, basically. If you can believe in yourself and what it is that you want to give to people, your audience, basically your clients, your potential clients, then that's the first thing I would say. Believe in yourself and believe in your brand. And then second thing is I would say consistency is good as well. It's very important. Once you're consistent, I believe that if you keep going, you grow. If it's not something that you feel like, okay, you can keep going, then definitely you know that that business is not going to work. Because if you can't keep improving and developing yourself, then you know definitely, okay, I need to look at another line of business because it's not going to work. So consistency is key. And the other thing I would say is I will urge that you collaborate with other people. In that way, you're showing your clients, you're showing whoever it is that is watching you that, okay, you're able to work with other people and you're very open to that as well. So I would say, believe in your brand, consistency, and collaborate. And the last one is to also be very, how would I say it? To be very, to educate yourself in whatever it is that you're doing. Because like, you don't want somebody like to come to you and be like, ask you a question that you're not able to answer them. So in any area of work that you are planning or the business that you are trying to get into, I would say you should educate yourself. I would say that's even the first point, to be honest. Educate yourself first. Then I would say you should believe in the brand that is that you're trying to produce, or to the service that you're trying to render. And then the next thing is, I would say you should be consistent with that, and then just keep going. Just keep going and do it now. If it's something that you're thinking about now, I would say just go for it, do it now, because you never know where it's going to take you, definitely. Because I would say that about my story, definitely, yeah.
I like that. I like that. Amazing. That's really, really good, Aramide. Thank you for that. And last but not the least, how do people reach you? What's the best way for people to contact you and get these lovely juices?
So I have my Instagram page. So for the Zobo one is actually separate. It's called Sparkles Roselle, and that's
I'll
on,
put the link here as well.
Instagram. Yeah, and then on Instagram also, which is my cocktail one, it's Sparkles_cocktail, and then my contact number, which is very open. You can call me at any time during the day. It's business. It's 08923253335. You will find this all on my Instagram page anyway. Or you can just send us an email as well at sparklescocktail@gmail.com. Or you can just send me a DM on Instagram. I'm not an email kind of person, so I just send DM. You just send me a DM and I'll reply you as quick as I can.
Okay, perfect. Well, Aramide, thank you so much. And guys, you've heard it all. This is an entrepreneur that has built a business from scratch and has a solid brand. So feel free to connect with her, and she's a very lovely person as well.
Yes,
so
I
that
am.
being said, thank you, Aramide. God bless.
Thank you
And
so
see
much,
you next time.
Thank you so much.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.